All right, people. Now that we've had, about 2 days or so with the new patch and everything, I know I should have probably done this video day one, but I'm lazy. So we're gonna be talking about Juri's, new stuff and just talking about overall how I feel about her. And I know I've said some things on stream or maybe other videos that maybe I haven't touch up on as much, but this video will probably be that thing. One of the first changes that they gave her was Statement Punch is +3 on block, so that means it's +6 on hit. So now you can naturally do something like that and that fully combos, or you can do something like this and that combos as well. So that's pretty good overall for a neutral, because if you are close up, especially when they are guarding, this becomes real. There's no gap. Someone can press a 3-frame to check you or something like that. You're not limited. You have multiple options now, and that's very good on a neutral standpoint because that makes our close-up game a bit more scary. So it just helps her out in general, especially when she can do something like this as a block string. So I find that pretty good. Another change they gave was that Stand Fierce has, I believe, 2 extra hit stun. 2 frames of extra hit stun. So basically we now can do Stand Fierce into heavy flip kick, or you can do Stand Fierce into EX flip kick and then get a combo from that. I think that's pretty good, especially when you're trying to whiff punish, or maybe you see it hit confirm it. You can do EX flip to guarantee some damage and everything. So it's a really good buff to 1-bar combos, with punishing, all that good stuff. I find this to be really, really nice. Another change that they actually did, which I didn't expect, was Crouch Strong has extended the cancel window by 2 frames, meaning it's now a 16-frame hit confirm. So you can, of course, some people may not be able to do it, but if you are looking for it, you definitely can hit confirm this, because now it's in the hit confirm window. I didn't expect this change, to be honest, but they gave it to us and it's a pretty nice change. Of course, keep in mind that if you super late cancel it, you won't be able to get Crouch Strong into medium flip kick. As you can see, it didn't combo. So that can happen, so don't be very late. It's not no 17-frame confirm window, so just keep in mind of that. Another change that they did was they shortened the startup. Well, that was interesting. Another thing they did was they made her sweep 7-frame startup, because they shortened it from 8 to 7. So now it is definitely good for punching those weird 7-frame punishes. So like Honda's medium headbutts, stuff like that. You can just sweep it. And also, this also works well with the same meat punch buff, because on counter hit, you're +8. So naturally, sweep goes into that on counter hit. If you just want some good Oki and you're +3 in the face after dash up, it is a pretty nice change. Now we get into a bit of an interesting change. So light DP, or light Tensenrin, has reduced pushback on hit. So it's kind of interesting, because let's say you get a little forward, right? Let's say you get the little forward, and now you're right in front of their face and you're +2 in the situation. So the light DP basically reels them in closer, and now you have a throw mix game. So now you can do something like that, where they lose a good amount of health from one sequence. She really necessarily didn't have crazy throw game. Of course, people could take a throw because she didn't get too much off of it. As you can see, my distance to Bison is not too crazy. I can get a medium kick or something, but it wasn't too crazy. But now you lost 122 plus 120. That's 200 some health. And imagine that over and over looping again. Or I could do that, something like that, and make you lose even more health. So it's a really good throw mix, because the +2 situation is very scary, because you don't know if your opponent's going to DP or get out, or you don't know if the offensive person is going to try and do something crazy or anything like that. You don't know, but it's good for Juri, because she necessarily doesn't have a command grab or anything, so people are not going to hold up like that. They may V-shift or maybe tech, but then that's when you start taking note of people's counter stuff. So it's a good thing, because she never really had that kind of mix like that. It was just good for a little damage, but now it's a little bit scary. All right, so the next change is EX flip kick, or EX Reno Tatsu if you want to be all specific, and now has reduced knockback distance on hit. So if you notice, he's pretty close to me in the air when he does that. So now you can do something like this. That only worked in the corner, but now that works like mid-screen. So now imagine I do this. So combined with the stand fierce change, you can now do this. That may have cost 2 bars, but now peep where he's at. He's in a corner now. Or I can simply do this. He's still in the corner. Like, note that how, because of these changes, they're all complementing each other. So because of the EX flip change, I now can do, let's say, store, and now I can use crouch strong as a meaty into stand medium punch. +3, and now you gotta be like, oh shit, he's gonna low forward me or not. Or I can do, let's say, crouch jab, stand medium punch, low forward, and then I can do this, like something like this, and then I can do the mix-up game. So they all complement each other, which is pretty nice. So this EX flip change is pretty nice, especially for, you know, super far. If you see a firewall or something like that, you're guaranteed at least heavy DP. Sometimes it's weird instances where I believe, like Urian's change and everything, you may not be able to get much, but only because his hitbox is so far out and the pushback distance is a bit kind of like not great enough. So be in mind, like if you're punching like from full screen, you may not be get as much as like, you know, mid screen. So just keeping that in mind. So VCO 1 level 2 has reduced knockback distance on hit. So basically what they're saying is you almost get free button. And if they back roll, you get Oki. So I want to show back roll. Basically, you can dash up now. They're reduced knockback distance, and now you can come in closer. Normally, she would just be 0 afterwards, and they'll be like super far away from her. So it'd just be like, all right, back to the same game all over again. So this kind of rewards you for this, which is pretty nice. Of course, you won't be able to get a throw because you are 0 after dash up. But you are able to get a free, like, stand heavy kick. Kind of like that, but you gotta time it, so keep that in mind. It definitely takes getting used to, but it's actually a nice change because you can also, one thing you can do is just walk up a little bit, you know, get that, maybe get in that low forward range or something like that. Or maybe, hell, you can just walk up all the way and throw them again. You don't know, but it's a nice change because it benefits her more than opponent. So another thing they changed with another V skill is that her VSCO 2 can now be V-trigger canceled. So now you can do something like this. If it's hit and unblocked, you are +14. So let's say you do a string. Oh, wait, I'm dumb. You do a string, you're +14. Meaning, like, you can do whatever you want. So, pretty nice change. Didn't really expect that, but I'll take it because it definitely introduced some crazy stuff that I kind of want to showcase real quick. So now you can do something like that. And I think that's a pretty good change because, you know, let's say you only have this. Activate V-trigger. And now they're in your game. So it's a pretty nice change. Pretty nice change. So the next change is a V-trigger 2. So they changed the mid-air effect from knockdown to grounded stun. It can now be activated during VSCO 2 and can no longer be reversed on block. This is kind of interesting because it definitely helps like this type of thing. Like you could do something like that. You can do cool combos like that. There's a bunch of cool combos on Twitter and everything that I've seen that are pretty cool. When they say, you know, they can't necessarily like V-reversal, they're kind of meaning like that initial hit of the V-trigger. So like this. They can't V-reversal it. No longer can they V-reversal that. They can, however, V-reversal button into the activation. So it's kind of a weird change because I thought it sounded like as if you can do button into V-trigger and they can't V-reversal it because then that'll probably make it pretty strong. But it's sadly only this. And I'm not sure how I feel about it only because it still doesn't necessarily help like resolve its issues, you know? Like the issue is that people still get meter while getting hit, or if they get away from it, the V-trigger is kind of useless. So what's the point? So it still doesn't really solve the problems of it. Don't get me wrong, V-trigger is probably pretty cool to like do cool combos with and everything, but still like competitively viable, I don't think so. I think you can have fun with it, but I don't think it's necessarily like that competitive viable just yet. And finally, the last change they did was that this is kind of, it's weird writing on the patch notes, but basically they, for her CA, they increased the projectile speed. You are now projectile invincible from 9 to 28 frames, and they changed the distribution so that basically the last hit does the most damage. So if I do super from right here, basically that last hit does the most damage. So they're really trying to emphasize that, hey, it's gonna be faster, it's gonna hit more, so that way you get your damage. Because before, like right here, it'll lose a bit of its damage. Now it'll, have all this damage at the end rather than at the beginning. It's a kind of a big change because some of her damaging combos won't like do the most damage, and you're like, why? It's because you're so far. So now her damage is gonna be beefy with CA. So yeah, I think it's a pretty nice change. It definitely sounds a little weird wording, but I kind of understood it once I messed around with it and everything. So it's like, oh, okay, so that just make sure you guarantee your full damage. So it's a pretty nice change. But yeah, that's pretty much it with Juri when it comes to her changes. I think overall she's in a very strong state right now. Her neutrals got better, her confirms are getting better, with punish game is better. She literally almost pretty much has every tool there is. She has a 2-3 frames, anti-air DPs, V skill that goes to fireballs, EX flip that goes to fireballs. She has moves that advance her forward. She has feature canceling moves that make her plus. She has a better sweep, better buttons, good frame traps and everything now. So I think honestly she's in a very good state. That's why that if you're tuned into my streams, I think she's like top 12 or maybe top 10ish material because she's feeling like that. But yeah, she's just very, very strong. She literally started from the bottom of season 1 where she was pure trash. And if you're a Juri veteran, you understand that. But now, after 6 years, she's finally like pretty much nearly at the top. I would think that she's generally just a good character now. Of course, she is a little bit technical to learn, but I don't think that's stopping people from playing her. But yeah, those are my thoughts of Juri. I think she's overall just a good character. I am enjoying playing with her. I am going to continue to play with her. I'm not sure, of course, I've played Rashid and Seth in the past, but with the way she is, I still want to play with her for a good while just to get more of a feel, and maybe I'll go into other characters. But for now, I'm enjoying Juri. But that's kind of like what I want to talk about in this video, just overall how I feel about her as a character and go over her changes and everything, because I know this is long overdue. But if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down what's your favorite Juri change. Let me know if you think I missed anything or should I cover other stuff. But yeah, take it easy guys, and see you in the next one.